evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hope College inside DeVos Fieldhouse. I'm Carly Van Swal alongside Scott Vanderstoep, and we are about to hear the national anthem. That right there, folks, was our national anthem. And we are about to hear the starting lineups for the Adrian Bulldogs. You are here tonight for the Adrian Bulldogs versus Hope College Flying Dutch matchup. Scott, thank you for joining me tonight.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for asking me last night and tonight. I'm sure you couldn't find any other subs, but it's always great to do projects with my former students, so it's good to have you here, Carly. Thanks for asking.
It's always a good time. As we hear the PA announcer announcing Adrian's team.
When we were preparing for the game, Carly, you had alerted me. I follow Hope Volleyball, and I used to follow MIAA Volleyball more closely. I now follow Hope, but not so much the league. And so when we walked in here and saw that Adrian, who always had a pretty good team when my daughter played, is 4-1 in the league with its only loss to Tris. But for those who are here and for those who are watching alongside this, along on Webstream, this will be a very, very good matchup, and it will, I think, challenge Hope in many ways. We had mentioned last night that Hope's opponents always get the best effort from them. Hope always gets the best effort of their opponents because they're a top 10 team in the country, and this is a very good team. So I hope Hope got a good night's sleep and they come mentally prepared to play a very good team.
Yeah, both teams coming off wins last night. As you mentioned, Adrian beating Alma 3-0 for the first time since 2007, which is a huge win for Adrian, excuse me. They're coming off with a lot of motivation, a lot of fire to come after this Hope team that we're about to hear the introductions for right now.
And Adrian has a massive squad. Coach Kwan, who's been there for a while, I watched him as my daughter grew up playing volleyball, both at Adrian, and he also is a winter and a spring club volleyball coach. He's deeply rooted in Michigan volleyball, particularly on the east side of the state, and he obviously has attracted a large number of women who want to play for Adrian College this year.
Yeah, you mentioned the coach for Adrian with over 15 years of experience. This guy really knows what he's talking about. You mentioned club, had many experience even in his college career being an assistant coach for college teams that he was at. So he definitely knows what he's talking about.
Sarah Felposh had a breakout night last night. She always contributes a lot, but she was leading the team. She led the team in kills last night with 13, I believe it was. And they were really led by their outsides. And then Paige Baker, whose parents came in for the weekend. Here she's being introduced right now, and Papa Bakes is going to make sure he gets the shirt. He flew all the way from Encinitas, California. He is going to go home with the T-shirt. They're here for several games. They watch all of them when they're not here on Webstream, and I know They appreciate it. But they were here last night. They were here again. They're here again today, and will stay through Wednesday. Because on Wednesday we'll be hosting another volleyball match against a team some of you may have heard of, the #1 ranked Calvin College Knights. So it's a nice crowd this afternoon. It will probably be full and very, very loud on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting game to be at. Calvin's definitely a huge team for anyone to beat, and the rivalry that Hope Calvin has stems back for years and is one of the best in the nation, and if not the best in D3 sports. So
here's the thing, you've got to beat Adrian or that game is going to be really hard to take. And so if they're looking ahead, that won't be that's not wise. Adrian is a very good team. I'm sure Coach Schmidt has prepared her players for that fact, but this will be a good team. If you just look at the numbers, neither one of us has seen Adrian play yet. It's Cassie Reed hitting 280. She's played in every match. She's played in almost every set. And then Sydney Martinez is also, she's a senior middle. She also is somebody who's collected a lot of kills. Not a great hitting percentage, but has collected a fair number of kills over the course of the year.
And last night, Margot Jobran had 15 kills, or 16 kills, excuse me, to lead her offense yesterday. So she's going to be one to watch today.
Jobran, a senior from Mount Morris, and went to E.A. Johnson High School.
And both teams have now taken the court.
We have a crack officiating crew again, a 5-star crew. Mark Howells is the down ref. Alan Kaufman is up. Randy Bigelow on one of the lines, and someone I've never seen before at all on the other line. I'm sure he's just as good as the other three. We get really good volleyball officials here at Hope and in the MIAA. They get a lot of criticism, but it's a hard job, and our crews are always really good.
Olivia Welch for Adrian will start us off today with the first serve of the night as this one goes up. Good up by Felposh. Hackett to Van Housen. And Luke tries to get that one, and we have a partner block from Adrian, Jobran, and Martinez.
Jobran picking up where she left off last night.
Hackett sends this one back out to Van Housen. Another partner block right there. And Martinez gets that one to go.
Well, all the stuff we said in pregame is coming to life here in the first 2 points. Adrian, the aggressor on both of those points.
A nice short serve. And Adrian really coming out with a bang. Hope seems a little bit frazzled.
Yeah, a little flat.
Rietberg gets that one up. Hackett to Rietberg. And Rietberg sends that one up. And we saw Rietberg in the last set last night against St. Mary's kind of struggle and get off rhythm for her hits. So she's going to be a key player for Hope tonight to find her rhythm and get those hits down.
Need a better pass than that to start with. We're going to have to attack better with a better first pass. Wow.
And Jobran with another kill.
Well, I think it might be time for a timeout. Yep.
With a 5-0 start.
Well, I watched a lot of Hope volleyball. I think, as I mentioned last night, dating all the way back to a woman I eventually married playing in the 1980s, and then my daughter who graduated in 2014. I don't think I've ever seen a Hope match where they've dropped 5-0 in the first set. I'm sure it's happened, but I don't ever remember it. So, yes, this Adrian team is obviously ready to play, and Hope has got to play better.
Yeah, they're really going to have to pick it up. 5-0 start for Adrian. Phenomenal block. That's going to be a huge adjustment for Hope's hitters.
And of those 5 points, Carly, only 2 of them were on attacks. We have a kill by Martinez and a kill by Jobran, but then we had 2 hitting errors and an ace. I think Van Housen got blocked, Katie hit it long, and then I think we got aced. So, yeah, it's time to start playing. Warm-up's over.
Yeah, this front row for Albion's going to be a dangerous one tonight.
Welch has got a run going here. What is the 6th serve in a row?
Luke gets that one up to
There we
Rietberg.
go.
Welch tries to get that one up, can't quite get it to go, so Van Housen will go back to serve for Hope.
Well, that's what Katie does best. As I said last night, she sees the floor really well, and she hits deep more than most outside hitters do. Most outside hitters try to go straight down. Katie has great vision, can go deep into the, just like that. Oh, just a little wide. She went deep and she caught the baseline, but she went a little wide.
So Adrian serve right here for Martinez. Hackett back to Baker. Welch gets that one up. Hackett back to Baker, and a great partner block from Reed and Dion. I think Reed got most of that, but it's always good to have that partner block up there to close that gap.
Reed, a 5'10" middle from Southfield High School. That was great timing.
Hackett to Rietberg. Rietberg mixing it up with a tip.
That was really smart. I think when you're trying to attack with power and you're either getting blocked or hitting it long, I think you need to alert your opponent that you can also have some tips. Keeps everybody on their toes. Oh.
And Reed gets that one. Deep corner, perfect placement for a point, Adrian. Dion will go back to serve. Hackett to Muller. Muller off the block. Dion Art to Joe Brown, excuse me. That one's hit by White. Muller sets to Rietberg. Partner block from White and Reed.
Ooh, 9-2. Hope hasn't found themselves down 9-2 much in the MIAA. They did have a rough match last weekend against DePaul. And that's their only loss of the year so far.
Dion sets this one out to Martinez. Deep set. Falposh gets that one up. Hackett to Rietberg. Good dig by Welch. Dion with a nice tip over the net. Muller sets to Baker. Great block by Reed. Another block for Hope. Partner block. Great job. Good placement by Reed. Falposh couldn't quite get under that one.
Well, right now Adrian is controlling the net. They are blocking and they are hitting, and they're winning those 50-50 battles. 10-2, Adrian.
Baker, this blocking game that you just mentioned is just unreal. Hope's hitters can't figure it out or adjust to it at all.
Becky Schmidt's going to call her second and final timeout in set one. I don't think I've ever seen a Hope team have to use burn both of the timeouts in the first 11 points. They trail 11-2. Get that updated on our scoreboard. There we go. All right, Coach Carly, what do you do better?
I mean, volleyball starts with a pass, and our passes seem to be pretty good. We mentioned last night that was kind of a struggle for Hope's team. Really made Hackett move and get those sets off the move, but it's our hitters who just need to learn how to adjust off that block and see what they can do with it. I mean, they've had 13 points to try to adjust to it, and they haven't been able to find it yet.
Yeah, Adrian's sending 2 blocks to each hit. So I think you're right. You look for different angles. You start to tip. You don't have to power your way through it. A diversity of shots is going to be what's needed. But just taking a look at the early stats here, Adrian hitting .364 and Hope minus .267. That's a difference the likes of which we don't often see. That was a good serve.
This ball set to Martinez. Thompson gets that one up. Hackett back to Muller. Good dig by Dion. set out to White, and that one goes out of bounds. Katie Rietberg, number 11 for Hope College, will go back to serve. Dion up to Martinez, and that's a great block from Felposh and Baker.
You know, it's that kind of momentum shift is important because Felposh came in with a great block on a great hitter from Adrian. But the thing is, it's only a 25-point game, and you can't trade points. I mean, you're going to have to dig into it a little bit here pretty quickly. So Rietberg with 2 quick serves, that's good.
And Reed goes into the net on that last one to send Rietberg back to the line.
Good serve.
And minus that ball, Mellon, the libero for Adrian, has done a great job of getting those balls up and a great placement for her setter.
Yeah. Coach Kwan's going to call a timeout. I think that was wise. He had, I think it was 11-2 at one point. Yeah, it was. And then that's when Hope took his timeout, came back and scored 4 in a row off of a side out, and then went with 3 straight serves from Rietberg. Hope's hitting percentage isn't any better. They're still at minus 235, but because of their defense, they brought Adrian back down closer to 0. They're hitting 0.67. 4 kills for Adrian, 2 for Hope. And Adrian's backcourt's been impressive. I think I saw Joe Braun make a nice dig back there.
Dion had a couple of
good
digs.
Dion. This is a good Adrian team. This is, I think if you ask most folks, you'd think Hope would be heavily favored in this game, but they will have to play very well.
Yeah, Hope's going to have to bring out their A game. We see it right now, 11-6 in Adrian's favor. And Hope might just have gone on a 4-0 run, but we saw what Adrian did the first 13 points, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Sophie Hackett in the back row now for Hope, so she does have 3 hitting options. She's got Felposh, Baker, and Haley Muller across the front, left or right.
Which are all good options to have.
Somebody was in the net.
We got Felposh in the net.
I saw the net rattle. I thought that it was Adrian, but Adrian wasn't anywhere. That ball was quite a ways. The set was quite a ways off the net.
Joe Braun will go back to serve. Felposh gets that one up. Set back to Felposh. Felposh with a great line kill to give a point to Hope. Thompson goes back to serve, which brings Van Housen back in the middle to hit. Mellon with a great bump. Out to Welch. Flying our direction. Great catch by Scott, showing off the athleticism.
Carly, I was going to give you first crack at it, but you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, which is calling the game.
You helped me out.
Well,
Hope keeps this ball alive after a great Mellon serve. Hope gets to that point. And Mallory Luke will sub back in to play back row for Haley Muller.
Adrian has returned to earth a little bit. Those first 13 points, they look like the best team in the country. Starting to make some mistakes, but they're not going away. It was a nice kill by Martinez.
Yeah, good hit off the block. And we got Monet
really,
to come
they've
back
held
in.
their lead. It's 14-8. I mean, the biggest lead was 10-2 at 8 points, but really they've held that basically. They're still at 6 points with the serve.
Hackett sets this one back to Manhausen. Good line, great up by Mellon. This one goes out to Welch, who goes for the tip and gets that one off the block.
Wow, this is a good team.
Adrian really showing their versatility with their kills, their tips. Really doing a great job with their placement this game. And their serves. Hope keeps this one alive. Deanne out to Martinez. Martinez with the tip. Hackett out to Felposh. Mellon tries, can't quite get there. Kill for Felposh.
The second contact after the after the attempt, I think by Van Housen. I think Coach McCall, the assistant from Adrian, kind of wanted an illegal contact by Courtney. She actually made a really athletic play, and I think the officials wanted to recognize that. I think the Adrian folks thought it might have been a little fat when she hit it, her hands, but that was good for Hope. We got the point. Courtney's really has great hands for a middle.
As we see that back set right there, which was perfect placement.
I think we've got a touch by the line judge from the other side. Actually picked up a really gentle touch by Adrian, so we're going to pick that up, and that's going to be a Hope point, and Adrian maintains a 15-10 lead.
Cal Posh serves this one. Mellon sets it up to Welch. Welch with a great deep corner hit to send herself back to the line, and she was the one that got him going on the 5-0 serving run. So we'll see if she has another run right here. Hackett out to Rietberg. Rietberg goes line. Adrian gets that one up. Hackett back to Rietberg. Rietberg with a nice roll shot in the middle. Joe Braun tries to get that one up, but that one sails out of bounds.
Because again, I think the kind of game Hope needs to play. She didn't come with power. She found a spot on the floor. She put a little top spin on it, and she found a spot. They all count the same, no matter how hard they're hit.
True.
Get it. There you go.
And
those are fun.
Every hitter's piece of cake. Great kill from Baker.
That one got Mark Baker off his seat, waving his towel. That was fun. Those are fun for you. But again, they all count the same.
Get up by Monet. Joe Braun gets that one. Hackett back to Baker. Martinez sends that one over. Hackett with a quick tip. Set out to Joe Braun. Hackett go to Rietberg. Great block from Martinez. Great block by Baker. Welch tries to do a back row hit, and that one goes into the net. Great point for Hope.
That's the kind of momentum shifter we need. We're down to 3 points now. There was a point, Carly, where Courtney is serving, so she hasn't been liberoed out. I was saying this earlier. She has probably the best, softest hands in the middle I've ever seen. She can set, she can pass from the back row, and that was a part of that point that was really important, because she had to make a really tough first contact after her serve, and that kept the point going. A lot of middles can't do that.
And we see another good rally point right here.
Another great dig by Van Housen. Maybe trying to talk Coach Schmidt into not getting liberoed out.
Yeah.
Keep me in there, Coach. Look at
what I can do. Baker tips this one deep. Welch gets that one up. Pancake by Luke. And they say that one hit. Coach Schmidt is not happy about that one.
Well, the monitor was in my way. I couldn't tell. What'd you have?
I was blocked by Rietberg.
Everyone was ready to play, but we didn't.
Well, great point for Adrian. Good rally.
Coach Schmidt is very cheerful when she has discussions with the ref. She just went over to down ref Mark Hulse. Did you see it? It was a great play. She smiled as she said it.
Good save by Dion. Welch will hit back row. A little bit of a miscommunication from Felposh and Rietberg.
18-13 Hope. They can't afford to trade points anymore. You know, if they had gotten that one on the pancake, it would have been 16-14. Now we're at 18-13.
Hope's team making Hackett work. Dion goes up to Joe Braun. Hackett to Rietberg.
Yeah.
Hackett goes line. That one sails out. Schmidt wants the touch. Doesn't quite get that.
Well, Katie uses the whole court, as we've said, but that one was just a little long. Now it's 19-13. Hope needs to stop this and get a run going. They can't afford to trade points. There we go.
Rietberg, a great middle hit.
That one, she came a little closer to the middle. Generally, she'll fly closer to the pin. That was a nice call, because Sophie moved Katie in just a little bit, and I don't think the blockers were quite ready for that. That was a nice play.
That was a good adjustment.
Now we need a bunch.
And this will be a free ball from Adrian. Hackett to Rietberg. Great partner block from Dion and Reed.
That was another example where they tried to move Katie a little closer to the middle. Don't put her right on the pin, but the block was there, and then the cover of the block.
And huge props to Adrian and their block getting there in time. The timing on their blocks is just impeccable. As Muller tries to go line and can't quite get that one. It's 21-14.
Well,
Dion for Adrian.
Their biggest lead was 8, and we had cut it to as little as 3, but it's back to 7. Adrian's basically controlled this whole first set.
And a great partner block again by Reed and White. They're the dynamic duo that we saw in the first couple, and they're back at it again. And looks like Schmidt will sub in Leah Dunlap.
No, I think it's Emma Dumais.
And Emma Dumais.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see Leah come in.
Yep.
I think maybe what Coach Schmidt might be putting up the white flag on this set, giving Rietberg and Muller a little bit of a rest because we're 3 points away from losing this first one. I'm just guessing right now. Give Emma a chance. And now Jamie Vanderlaan will come in the back row for Emma.
Yep, Jenna Vanderlaan, a freshman. She'll go back to serve.
5'5" DS from South Christian. Usually plays for Feldposch. Last night she played one of the 3 there, and then Feldposch played back row the first 2, and has played back row in this first set today.
Jo Braun hits that one. Hack it out to Leah again. Dunlap sends that one out of bounds.
It's hard when you, first of all, you don't play a lot, and then when you come in a pretty stressful situation here, trying to get your team back into a game. I think we'll see Katie and Haley back in set 2. Boy, Hope just cannot find, they cannot find the rectangle.
I think the duo block from Reed and White has kind of intimidated them.
Oh wait, we must have had a touch on that.
Oh yeah, looks like it.
I didn't see the touch, but we'll take it.
Deanne out to Welch. Welch with a great hit. Good dig by Thompson. Back to Dunlap. Deanne out to Reed.
Good block by Leah. Kept it.
Feldposch barely rolls that one over. Deanne back to Welch. Thompson gets that ball up. Hackett to Dunlap.
Shoot.
And we'll have a double hit.
Oh, you know, that multicolored ball is very, in high school I think they used to play with a white ball, but that multicolored ball is a lot easier to detect setting errors, and it is just really hard to get that ball with no spin, and it was just a little bit on at that time. Here it is, set point.
Van Housen sends that one deep. Deanne out to Welch.
Somebody's in the net. There it is. Whoa, I did not see that coming.
No, that is a win for the first set for the Adrian Bulldogs as Hope falls short. We saw them come back halfway through, but they lost it after that long rally, which would have made it 16-14, but ended up making it 17-13. Scott, what do you think Hope needs to do differently to take back this second set?
Wow, that you ask hard questions, Professor.
I'm just repaying the favor.
No, well, you know what I saw in that first set was, first of all, Adrian just seemed to want it more than Hope. I think Hope, as much as you prepare for a team that you almost always beat, I think it's just sometimes you're on your home court. You always win on your home court. And Adrian, frankly, we've been able to handle for the last 10, 15 years, but this is a very good team. So that's sort of emotionally what I saw. And then strategically, I mean, Hope just got controlled by Adrian in the middle. whenever we tried to go to the middle, there were always 2 blocks. Both wing players read blocks great. So when we went to the middle was there with either the left side or the right side hitter. And they out-hit us, they out-blocked us, they out-passed us. And so I would say, having never coached a game of volleyball in my life, but having watched thousands of them as a coach's spouse and a coach's as a coach's spouse and a coach's dad, it seems like you've got to figure out a way to find some hitting lanes somewhere on the net besides the middle. And if you can establish the pins, you might be able to open up the middle, because right now, when we went to the pins, we hit it out. And when we went down the middle, we had 2 blocks waiting for us, and we weren't able to create the angles. You may remember last night, we were able to create a lot of angles that weren't super hard hits, but they were, hitting at about the 14-foot mark, and they were just really good. Courtney had that as well as Paige. So I guess the 2 things is, first of all, you have to understand that this team is very good and they're playing harder than you are. And secondly, you've got to figure out a way to create some opportunities for both your outside players, left side and opposite. And I think that will open up your middle.
And I think a key thing is for Adrian, as you just mentioned earlier, you mentioned their one loss in conference is to Calvin, and who do we play on Wednesday is Calvin. Yeah. So for Adrian to beat Hope, that puts a lot of pressure on Hope for the game on Wednesday, and if Hope can't perform then, that puts Adrian in a really good spot as far as conference standings go.
Well, this is interesting because I think you're absolutely right. That game on that match on Wednesday takes on a whole new meaning if you walk into that tied for second with Adrian. It's sort of, everyone thought it was billed as number 1 versus number 6 or 7 in the country.
Right.
But that's not what it's going to be. Now looks like in that first set, Katie Rietberg led with 5 kills, but she also had 5 attack errors, mostly going long. That's what she does well. She uses the whole court, but I think that big block by Adrian was keeping that down. And then beyond that, there really wasn't much. Paige had 1 hit, 1 kill, and so did Sarah Feldposh. She really was sort of the bright spot. She hit 600.
And a great first kill for Haley Muller. Started off this second set.
Now what we've done here, interesting, we're going to start with Gabby Vachon in the back row. She is a 5'8" sophomore from Jenison High School. And I don't know if she'll stay and play just the back.
And great kill right there from Sarah Feldposh.
First 2 serves by Vachon gets Hope out to an early lead. Sophie's in the back again, so it's Haley and Paige and Sarah. So she's got 3 options. Good serve.
Hackett will set this one up to Muller. Muller goes cross. Dion sets one back row to Welch. Muller keeps this ball alive for a free ball. Dion tips this one over. Muller tips over. Dion.
Someone's in the net.
Net violation for Adrian. We'll get Vachon to continue to serve.
We heard the crowd call that one. I heard that one through my headset. The crowd had that. 3-0 Hope.
Jobron with a nasty hit in between the block of Baker and Muller.
Well, we mentioned who led the Dutch. Adrian was led by Welch with 5 kills. Jobron had 2. She now has, Jobron had 3. And they just hit better.
And Muller hits that one deep to the back line, keeps it in to send Baker back to serve.
Van Housen in. So we've got both of our middles in for this rotation. Nice block by
Muller blocks Jobron, which is a huge block off a great hitter.
That was a solo too. That's hard to do because that hitter can see the whole court, and you gotta figure out from her footwork and where she's approaching where you need to set up your block. That was beautiful. Solo block on the right side. One of my favorite plays in volleyball. Probably because my daughter was a right side hitter.
Just a little bit of bias. That's okay.
5-1 Hope. That was a much better start.
And that was the start we saw from Adrian in the first set.
Yep.
So great serving, or great serves for Vashon to start us off as a sophomore.
Well, those early points of set 2 have evened the stats out a little bit. Adrian hitting 122, Hope now up above 0 finally at 0.36. Katie Rietberg leading in terms of kill attack, number of kills with 5. Sarah Feldposh with 4 kills, but 0 hitting errors, so she's hitting 667. That probably won't stay. That's often, nobody ever hits 667 for very long because people will adjust and put blocks up, but she's doing great. She's actually really kind of been the lone offensive bright spot so far.
So Baker will come back to serve.
So the back row now is Hackett, Vashon, and Baker. Lexi Thompson will be in after Baker's done serving, which is right now.
And Reed hits that one off the block for point Adrian to send Dion back to the line and sub White back in, which this White and Reed duo has been a really good one as far as blocks go for Adrian. Hackett sets us up to Muller. Get up by Welch. Free ball from Welch. Hackett with a nice flare shot from Van Housen. Good sequence right there for Hope.
So when you were in high school, did you call that a flare when the middle came behind?
Mm-hmm.
No. I've heard slide.
Slide, yeah.
Same thing?
Yeah, I would assume so. Luke will serve this one up.
I'm sure if I'm wrong, I'll get text here momentarily. From my many volleyball friends who know way more than I do.
And a solo block from Reed off Van Housen's hit. Luke and Vashon getting some good digs right there in that sequence. But that point will go to Adrian. Joe Brown will go back to serve. Thompson gets this one up. Hack it out to Feldposh. Feldposh with a rocket hit right in the middle.
That's a beautiful play. That's what Feldposh does best. She just sort of glides through the air like she's got wings, and then if she can get up over the block. That time there's, I think, only a single block. So if that's really what she does best, those sort of titanic, hard crosses.
Feldposh will serve this one up. Mellon with a great dig. Welch will hit that one. Feldposh digs it. Hackett tries to tip over, but the block's there. Hackett tips again, but Adrian keeps it alive. Hackett out to Van Housen. Get up from Joe Brown. Welch will hit this one with a solo block from the setter, Sophia Hackett.
You know, one of my favorite plays, I already told you it was a right side attack, but when a setter who's in the front row, who's not oversized by any means, and Sophie is one of the smaller players on the court, can get a solo block like that, that is a lot of fun.
So Hackett will set that one to Rietberg. Welch keeps that alive. Back row attack from Joe Brown. Hackett goes to Van Housen.
Nice.
Joe Brown tries to get a chicken wing on that one. Can't quite get it high enough.
You know, Courtney's giggling about that one, but the truth is that's exactly what she wanted to do. It looked a little funny, but she had 2 blocks there. She needed to do something creative, and that's what she did. She went deep with, you know, a medium-sized hit.
Dion goes to Welch. Feldposh gets it up. Hackett out to Rietberg. Good duo block from Reed and White. Hackett back to Rietberg. Mellon with a beautiful pass. And White will get that one off the block.
You know, I think Adrian has scouted this game. They saw that Katie was leading the league in number of hits, and I think one of the top 3 or so in kills per set. Number of kills, excuse me, total number of kills and kills per set. There's a nice point. Always, but I think they may have scouted that and said, we're not going to get beat by Katie because, you know, they've always got 2 blocks there. And so we're looking for other options right now. Oh.
We have a rotation error from Adrian. Adrian looking a little bit confused.
This part of volleyball, to me, fascinates me. You know, these women have played it since they were 10 years old. And Coach Kwan explained actually there was no overlap. I think they're going to talk about it. I think Coach Kwan was trying to tell Mark House, no, that was an overlap. We're okay with that. I think Alan Kaufman's saying we can do one of two things. You can either give Hope the point or we'll play it again. And so I think they're going to play it again, 10-4. Hope.
So Van Housen will serve this one up. Welch gets that one to go. We got Sophia Hackett in the net for Hope.
And it would have been a point for Adrian anyway. It was a roll shot that went over Sophie. But at least Hope has a lead here. Now they need to keep up this aggressiveness, and they need to continue to attack.
Winat serves. Hackett out to Rietberg. Rietberg with a great cross hit. Gets past the block.
That's a good confidence boost because she's been looking at huge blocks all afternoon so far. That's 6 kills for Katie.
Hackett serves this one up. Mellon with some beautiful passes tonight. And Martinez gets that one to go.
Adrian's not controlling the middle like they were. That time they did. They ran a really fast play, and Hope wasn't ready for it. But that was the story of the whole first set.
Right. Yeah, that one, to my view, that one got the line, but great serve by Welch.
It's hard to tell where we were. I might have called it out. 11-7 Hope.
I guess that's why we're not the line judges. Hackett goes to Muller. Mellon sets out to Jobron. Black for Hope. Back to Jobron. Hackett goes to Baker. Adrian goes back to Jobron. And we'll get another net violation, and that one will be on Baker.
You know, Hope is trying to penetrate the net on the block, which is what you have to do, but their arms they seem to be ricocheting a little bit more instead of just sort of pushing forward.
Great foul to the line by Thompson as that one goes out of bounds. Rietberg goes back to serve.
12-8 Hope.
Dion has a back row attack from Mellon. Hackett goes to Muller. Monette gets that one up, but that one goes out of bounds. Good hustle from Welch, but can't quite get there in time as that one sails into the bleachers.
That was good vision by Haley. She figured out she wasn't going to be able to go down the line with that, and if she hit it just a power shot, it was going to get blocked. So she rolled it a little bit and found a corner.
Good dig from Thompson off Jobron hit. Muller goes deep. Welch can't get there.
That time she knew she could go a little straighter. Not really a line shot, but she didn't have to cut it so hard. And that was perfect. You know, she adjusted to Adrian's adjustment. First time she went with a cross, and then they adjusted the block, and Katie went right back down more of a line shot.
Yeah, Adrian made a stab at coming back for a little bit, closing the gap, but Hope made it a little bigger in the last couple. It's 14-8 in Hope's favor.
Well, Hope's got to keep their foot on the gas because this is a team that was, Hope was very flat in game one, and Adrian was very good. Hope's playing their brand of volleyball right now. I think they're attacking with multiple hitters, and they are finding seams, but Adrian will try to adjust at this point, and it's obviously very critical for Hope to get this match, or this set, excuse me.
And
well, as you can see from the from our shot here, we do not have nearly as many people, although right above where the camera cuts off, there are quite a few people in those last 5 or 6 rows. But oh, actually, no, we're looking opposite.
We're looking on our side, yeah.
We are looking at our side. It's not as big a crowd as we had last night, given the beautiful fall day.
Right.
I guess that's not surprising.
Muller sets that one a little too tight to Feldposch. She can't quite get a good angle on that one.
Well, when you're a right side hitter, you don't get that ball very often. And it was nice and soft. It didn't have any spin, but it was just way too tight to the net and not high enough. 2 years ago, they actually let a back row player take that second contact when the setter was out. But Haley has really good hands.
Right.
And so they've gone with her as the second contact when they take the setter out.
Jo Brown will hit that one into the net. A little uncharacteristic from her. We got a couple subs for Adrian to bring Mel and the libero back in as Baker serves this one up. And Welch and Mellon doing a really great job for Adrian's back row, getting some good passes up for her team. We'll have a back row hit from Welch. Hackett goes for the tip. Free ball, deep free ball. Baker's on that one. Hackett goes to Vinhausen. Vinhausen does a deep tip to get the point for Hope.
You know, Carly, you mentioned how well Adrian's back row is playing. That all starts with reading where your blockers are. And, you know, even when Hope gets it past the block, a lot of times it's dug.
Yeah.
And that time Courtney did a great job of finding a spot. She had to do it with a tip, though. Double contact.
Yep, we'll get a double hit from Adrian's setter, Dion, as this lead increases to 17-9. Little bit of a miscommunication from Reed and back row player Fernandez. And Monette will come back in for Fernandez. Welch gets that one up. Sets Jo Brown. Great dig from Sophia Hackett. Good hit, Vinhausen. Adrian just couldn't get their hands on that one.
You know, that was such a good play. It all started with Sophie, the setter, having to dig it. It went right into Haley's hands, and Haley was smart enough to run a really quick play to Courtney because they were able to catch Adrian off guard.
Hackett sets Feldposch. Jo Brown with a good dig. Gonna set it to Jo Brown. We'll have another net violation for Hope.
That's the third net violation I remember, and I think it's been 3 different people, so.
Yeah. Dion will serve for Adrian. Hack it out to Vinhausen. Dion to Jo Brown, who goes deep and sends that one just off the lines for that one to go out of bounds.
Well, we've evened out on hitting percentage, but neither one is going to be proud or excited about this, but it just goes to show you how good the defense is right now. Adrian hitting 139 and Hope hitting 114. Nice.
Vinhausen with a great line shot. Perfect set from Hackett and great placement by Vinhausen.
That's the 5th kill for Courtney. Katie still leads the team with 6 kills, Sarah Feldposch with 5, but she has no errors.
And Reed will hit that one. Excuse me, White will hit that one. Dion sets to Jo Brown. Luke gets her hands on that one. Feldposch goes line. Beautiful hit.
Feldposch has 6 kills, 10 attempts, no errors, hitting 600 today. Continuing really where she left off. She was really good last night.
Mallory Luke, who plays back row for Haley Muller, will continue to serve. Mellon gets that one up to Jo Brown. That ball goes off the block the partner block of Felposh and Vinhausen. Joe Brown will go back to serve. Thompson gets it up, hack it out to Felposh. Felposh again with another great hit off the block for that to be tipped out of bounds.
She's really good at that. She's able to tool it off the outside blocker and then ricochet it toward the sidelines. It doesn't, if she hits it a little bit closer to the middle of the court, that has a chance of staying in. So that's really smart play.
Dion goes out to Welch. Tight to the net, a joust. Hackett wins the joust. Back to Welch. Hausen gets a wing on it. Back row attack from Felposh for a great deep hit. Great point for Hope.
Well, was it Felposh or Katie who had that set point, but that point was because of Sophie Hackett. She made a great play, and then she went toe-to-toe with a middle who can jump.
Yeah.
And she won that 50-50 ball. And that was why we won that point.
And this is set point, yeah. Oh, a miscommunication from Adrian. Gives the set point to Hope as Hope wins that one 25-11. A completely different story than last set.
Wow, yeah, a tale of two sets there. The first one, Adrian dominated. Really from beginning to end, they led really they led by 8, and then we shrunk the lead all the way down to 3, but they ended up winning 25-16. And we had talked about how it was really important to make sure that we figure out a way to create some seams, because in set 1, Adrian was dominating middle. And if you notice, it seemed like if you looked at the hit chart, it was much more spread. It was Felposh and Muller and Rietberg all being able to find their spots on the pins, which opened it up, and then Courtney was able to get a kill or two, as was Paige. So that was what they needed to do, and they did it. They opened up, they established the corners, and they didn't try to outmuscle them in the middle to start with. But they controlled the whole net. That was the kind of Hope match, a Hope set that you want to play.
Do you think Adrian maybe just fell off a little bit as far as momentum goes, or do you think just the adjustments that Hope made were ones that Adrian wasn't ready for?
Well, Hope definitely played with more energy. I think they recognized what they were in for. They probably thought that they weren't going to be challenged in set 1, and Adrian played very well, and that they were awakened to that reality. But Hope did make some adjustments. They have, both teams have very good athletes, and normally you would think, well, this is a Hope team. They're a nationally recognized team. They've dominated, but they have to continue to play at that very high level. They played very, very well in that set, and they were rewarded for it by a lopsided victory. But they won't be able to play like they did in set 1 and expect Adrian to make mistakes, because they're not going to do it. Because they now know, well, we can play and beat a team that's number 7 in the country. So that was a very, very important set for Hope. They had to establish themselves. They had to establish themselves as the more powerful team, and they did that. But they can't go back to what they did.
Right. And we've seen both teams have dominating sets. Adrian with the first set, Hope with the second set. So we'll see which team comes back for this third set to maintain control.
Well, if you track the hitting percentages over time, the lines have now crossed. Hope is now out-hitting Adrian, although neither one of them probably wants to shout too proudly about it. Hope hitting 153 and Adrian hitting 125. That looks more like a Hope-Calvin match than anything, where the hitting percentages tend to be pretty low because the teams have such good blockers and are so good on defense. Right now, Sarah Felposh leads all hitters, and Hope, of course, as well, with 8 kills. 0 hitting errors, which is almost unheard of for an outside hitter through 2 sets. So she's hitting .615. Katie Rietberg has 6 kills, hitting .042, and Courtney Van Housen with 5 kills, hitting .231. Haley Muller with 4. She had a really nice set, too. She had a couple of nice ones back-to-back that was helpful. On Adrian, it's Jobran leading with 7 kills, hitting .094, and Welch with 6 kills, hitting .211.
And you mentioned in last set how Adrian made the adjustments for Rietberg, but in this next set, they got to make the adjustments for Feldposch.
Yep. And depending on what rotation's in there, you would have different sets of blockers. And so in some ways, it's a bit of a chess match. Both coaches are thinking about, you know, I'm sure Coach Kwan is saying, are they going to start with Rietberg in the front row, or are they going to start with Feldposch? And that will then depend and dictate what blockers you want to put up. You know, they probably wanted to put their best blockers up against Rietberg, and they were able to shut her down, and Feldposch answered.
Mellon serves that one up. Vachon gets it up. Hackett to Van Housen. Great strong hit for Van Housen.
That got Wade and Janet Van Housen off their seats. They brought about 10 Van Housens from all over, mostly from Traverse City. So it's nice to see Courtney do well when her extended family is here. That's 6 kills for her.
Mallory Luke playing back row for Muller, serves that one up. Dion goes to White, and White has a hard hit, but Feldposch does a nice tip over Dion, the setter, who thought she had some help for covering her, but it wasn't there.
Well, if you are Janae White right now, you've got to be terribly disappointed. That's probably one of the best hits I've seen. And Mallory Luke brought it up, and then Sophie was there just to put it, or no, Feldposch was there just to put it over, and there was nobody there to stop her. They just all watched. I think everyone got so excited by White's hit, they forgot to play defense after Mallory dug it.
And Welch hit that last point into the net to continue Luke's serving streak. As Welch digs that one into the net.
And Gabby Vachon played that position. Oh, no, I take that back. Gabby and Mallory are both in. I don't remember Mallory playing in set 2.
As she serves that one out.
And so right now we've got Feldposch, Hackett, and Van Housen across the front with Thompson, Luke, and Vachon in the back.
Luke gets that one up. Hackett goes to Van Housen. With a huge line hit.
Nope, we're going to call that back.
They're going to call her into the net. Net violation.
Yeah, you know, that ball was really tight to the net, and it was a great hit, but there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it would have been really hard for Courtney. It would have been really hard for Courtney not to touch the net. The thing is, that's usually called by the down ref, and I think everyone's a little confused. And we're having an extended conversation about it, which I don't think Alan Kaufman really wants to have. He keeps pointing us, we're going to put the ball over. It's 5-3. Let's get going.
Yep.
But it looks great.
Yeah, that was a beautiful hit. Monet serves this one up. Luke gets that one tight to the net, and Hackett helps it over the net for a point.
I think in baseball you'd call that either a changeup or a slider.
Yeah.
I think it was hit the net, and it threw everybody off. 6-3 Hope.
Feldposch will serve this one. Jobran touching the net. Dion keeps it alive for a joust at the net. Monet sets back row for Mellon. Hackett goes to Rietberg, and Rietberg gets that one into the net.
Hey, how about Haley Mellon, 5'3" junior from Adrian, who hit that from the back row behind the 10-foot net. That was really good.
That's impressive. Hackett goes to Van Heusen. Monet gets it up. Free ball from Jobran. Hackett tips it over. Dion goes to Martinez for a quick little shot. Luke tries to get her hands on it, but can't. Good hard hit by Martinez.
Had a single block with Van Housen going up. Sophie did not go up on that, and so Adrian was able to twist that one on a corner and pick up the point. 6-5 Hope.
Van Heusen gets that one to go off the block.
7th kill for Courtney.
As Baker subs back in. Good dig by Luke. Martinez gets that one to go, blocked by Baker. Mellon tries to do a back row attempt, but
she wanted to do that again.
Net.
That last one was so good. That one, the timing was a little off, but boy, for a 5-3 player. First one, Becky Schmidt wanted a back row attack because it was done so well. She thought, how in the world could she have ever done that from behind the 10-foot line? But she did.
Courtney Van Housen sends that one out.
Felposh is playing across the back in this game. That gives him another offensive option. But you remember the point before, Sarah did have an overpass there. We were able to pick up the point. But, you know, when you stick with an offensive player in the back, they're often not quite as good as some of the defensive specialists.
Good dig by Welch off Rietberg hit. Jobron gets that one to go in between Felposh and Thompson. As Brock will go back to serve. As it's a close game, 8-7 in Hope's favor. Little joust at the net, good cover by Rietberg, another joust. Hackett goes to Rietberg. Welch sets Jobron. Another joust at the net. Hackett sets Baker. Great hit by Baker.
I think the Adrian assistant coach McCall wanted one of Katie Rietberg's previous attacks for an antenna violation, but I think what happened is it hit the net tape really hard, and so the whole thing rattled, including the antenna, but I don't think it hit the antenna.
I'd have to agree on that one. Back row hit from Felposh. Welch with a great dig. Out to Jobron. Felposh with the dig. Hackett to Rietberg. Roll shot right in the middle. Welch is playing deep off those deep hits that Rietberg and Felposh and Baker have all been going for.
That's what Katie does very well. She sees the floor. She saw that the defenders were deep, so she went medium.
Good serve from Hackett. Welch with the back row attempt. Thompson sets Felposh up for a back row attempt as well, but that one sails out of bounds.
So by my count, we've played 70, 95 points or so. That was Sarah Felposh's first hitting error in the middle of set 3 from the outside.
Which is an incredible stat for an outside hitter.
And it came from the back row, so we probably ought to cut her a little slack even. She hasn't had a hitting error from the front yet.
True. Dion goes up to Jobron. Partner block from Baker and Muller, but that one goes right down.
You know, that play ran really quickly from Adrian, and I think it caught Baker and Muller off guard. They got up, but they didn't get enough time to penetrate. That's the advantage of running a fast offense.
Muller with a great hit. Good up by Mellon. Welch sets Jobron. Good up from Thompson. Heck gets Rietberg. Dion goes to Reed. Thompson sets Felposh in the back row. Dion goes to Jobron. Hackett tries to get her hands on that one, but that one goes out of bounds. And great defense from those back rows from Welch and Mellon and Thompson and Felposh in the back row for Hope and Adrian.
And you know, you love Sophie's hustle on that, but maybe in some ways better to let Lexi take that and you get ready. It's always hard to tell because it happens so quickly.
Hearted off the block. Mellon sets White.
That's 4. That's 4. Nobody touched it. No. I think that went back on the net tape. I don't think Hope touched it.
Schmidt confused on who called the touch.
That would have been a nice point to have for Hope.
Good hit from Baker. A free ball from Adrian. Hack goes to Rietberg.
That
Good
was
partner
a block
from Reed and White again, bringing the dynamic duo back. We haven't seen them in a while, so.
No, but they're lined up against Rietberg for at least 2 of the 3 rotations while Katie's in there, and that's Adrian has scouted well. They know that Katie, as we said earlier, leads the league in total kills, and I think as of last night was maybe 3rd in the league in kills per set. So we are at 12-10 Adrian. We've got 3 different scores here. We've got 13-9 on live stats. We've got 12-10 on the scoreboard and 11-all on the web stream. We're going to go with 10-12 Adrian because that is the official score. So
but Adrian coming back after Hope started out with some dominance in this 3rd set. And I think we've had some really hard hits this game from both teams' hitters, but these back rows for both teams have really been working hard and getting some great digs and some good passes up to their setters, Dion and Hackett.
Which is one of the main reasons why these hitting percentages are so low. Adrian at 119 and Hope at 144, but it's pretty clear Adrian is not going away. So it might be easy to think after set 2, after Hope just drilled them 25-11, well, you know, we had a nice run. Let's not play hard. But obviously Adrian is not thinking that way.
Right. That ball goes off the block, lands in bounce.
That was a really critical point coming out of the timeout.
Yeah.
Because if you go down 13-10 against a really good team like Adrian, you know, you can't trade points at that point. So that was really important to get that. Adrian's got an answer.
Reed with a great hit. As Vashon comes back in for Rietberg in the back row.
That's only the 3rd kill for Reed, but that was a nice play. Joe Braun leading Adrian with 10 kills, followed by Welch, who has 6.
Joe Braun sends that one out of bounds.
Joe Braun stays in to play in the back row, so that gives Adrian a back row attack option.
Baker will serve for Hope. Good low serve. Dion sets Welch. Vashon gets that ball up. Hackett sets Felposh. And that ball is set up to White. And that is called a tip for point Adrian.
Well, we're getting to the point where really every point is critical. I know it's only 14-12, but you really can't afford to get down by 3 points, given that we're fairly deep into this game. It's not undoable, but there we go. That's the 7th kill for Van Housen.
Yeah. Good little set play right there.
Quick middle, tough to defend a quick middle because that outside player can't get there quick enough often.
She's very athletic and shows it off so well. Thompson with the dig off Welch. Set to Felposh. Mellon sets White with the partner block from Van Housen and Felposh.
That was a great play, a great block. It was, you know, White didn't have a lot to do with it. Couldn't do a whole lot with that ball because that ball was tight to the net. But good for Hope, 14-all.
Another block from Van Housen.
Van Housen came over and just did that one by herself,
Yeah.
so I'll take this.
She hits that one off the block. We'll get a free ball from Adrian. Hackett sets out to Felposh, who tries to go line, but that one goes out of bounds.
Well, you know, Adrian's so good on defense. I'm sure Sarah's thinking, I've only got a single block, but she's probably staring at 3 defenders over on the cross hit, so she goes line. It was the right play. It was just a little wide.
Monet will serve this one up. Thompson with a great pass. Velposh tries to go line again, and the line judge calls that one in.
It was the exact same play. I'm not sure the Adrian coaching staff agreed with that. It actually, it didn't look all that different than the other one, but we're happy to get that 15-all.
Velposh will go back to serve. A floater. Martinez comes in and gets a nice little ball in the deep corner.
These two teams are just pounding on the ball right now, trading points. Adrian with a 1-point lead.
Welsh will go to serve. Luke gets the ball up. Tight to the net. She's in the net. Well, they'll call that one off the antenna.
Well, Adrian's got a 2-point lead right now. It is, again, this is just really critical for Hope to try to get this point. You don't want to go down by 3. But here comes Adrian in control of a free ball.
And Jobron with a tomahawk hit to the back row.
From the middle, going deep.
Great spot, great power off that hit.
Wow. Well, if you're watching on live stats, I think there was probably a point reversal somewhere along the line that might have gotten a live stat out of sync, because if you're watching a live stat, it says that Adrian's ahead 19-14. It is indeed 18-15 Adrian. One set apiece. And yeah, this is a critical game. I mean, it's the loser of this game is not necessarily out of it, but you hate the idea of having on your home court right before you face Calvin to have to go 5. But Adrian is playing very well. They did not play well in set 2, and we were able to kind of jump on them early and dominate the net and dominate serving. But Adrian has answered.
Yeah, Adrian definitely came out with a lot more power and made those adjustments that they had to make. And their back row is just killing it. Mellon and Welch and Monet making some great passes, and Dion, the setter, having some phenomenal digs for her team in this third set.
Jobron leading the Bulldogs with 11 kills, hitting 175. Velposh with 10 kills for the Dutch, hitting 364, and Katie Rietberg with 7 kills. Although they've defended her very well, she also has 7 attack errors because she's always faced with big blocks. There's another one.
Hackett sets back row for Velposh.
Nice. We got a touch.
Yep, we got that good touch.
Well, you know, Carly, that's the advantage of having Sarah back there, because they are suffocating Katie Rietberg right now with a great double block. And Sophie wisely went to Sarah. Now the ball went long, but it was touched. So.
Yeah, it's good to have a 4th option in the back row.
Hit. I think it hit her hands and then it hit her face. There we go.
Rietberg gets that ball off the block. Martinez sets that one deep. I called that one a double hit off Martinez.
Well, you know, when a middle goes up and sets the ball and sets it to the corner, I think middles get discriminated against when it comes to setting. They have a very high standard. There was a bit of a spin on the ball. 18-17 Adrian.
Good dig from Velposh. And Husen with a beautiful set to Rietberg.
Hey,
showing off her middle setting skills.
I have said Courtney Van Housen has the best hands of middle I've seen in a very long time, and I feel perfectly comfortable having her set the ball. And that's, you know, I think there's an instinct that whenever the middle hits it with a setting motion that, oh, it must be illegal. But Courtney is good at that, and she's good in the back row too. When she's serving and she ends up playing out the point before she gets liberoed out, she makes a lot of great back row plays.
She does, and it's a true testament to the versatility that Hope has. We've seen Hackett go up for blocks today, take some good digs, and Van Housen coming up, doing some great sets. Even some Muller had some sets, so just really showing off the versatility of Hope's offense and defense.
Well, I think Adrian has wisely tried, particularly on tips and free balls, to take Sophie Hackett out by giving her the first contact. And that's smart. But as you said, if you've got Van Housen or if you've got Muller, or even Lexi Thompson if she's in there. Lexi has very good hands. Well, what was looking quite despairing 3 points ago at 18-15, at least we're feeling a little better, but we've got to keep pushing here. This is a really critical set to win. You don't want to have to come back.
Right.
With whatever team you are, you don't want to have to come back and feel like you have to win 4 and 5.
Hausen serves this one deep. We'll get a free ball from Adrian.
3 options.
Hackett sets Baker. Baker keeps that one alive off the block. Rietberg roll shots that in. Dion to Jobron. And we'll get a double hit.
Well, nobody's perfect. I just talked about how great Courtney was on those sets, and that one she just got a little off balance because I think she was falling back because the ball was coming hard. But Adrian with a 1-point lead. We got to get it back right here.
We'll have Bruck come in to serve. Falposh with a good pass. Rietberg hits that one into the net. So it's 20-18. I think it's safe to say who wins this set has the momentum going into the 4th set.
Adrian is challenging Hope on its own court right now.
Good serve from Bruck.
Nice play.
And Hackett helps that one over the net after it was a low pass to the net.
She had almost no option. She was falling backwards. She could only get one hand on it. She put a fist up, and she put it exactly where she needed to.
Hackett serves this one up. Mellon with a good pass. Back to Jobron. Jobron with a great spike. Thompson can't quite get her hands on it. And we'll have White to sub back in, and we'll see that Reed-White dynamic duo block. We'll see if they can do anything to help propel Adrian into that win. Hackett saves the pass. Muller rolls it over. Dion goes out to Jobron, who tries to free ball it over, but hits that one into the net. And it is 21-20.
Sophie Hackett risking life and limb over there. She dove right into the front row and kept that ball alive. I really thought that was going to be 22-19. That was so critical. Now we're only down 1.
Dion goes to Jobron. Thompson gets her hands on it. Falposh rolls that ball over. Mellon saves it. Muller will pass that one up. Hack it out to Falposh. Falposh with a great hit, but great dig by Welch. Yes. And Falposh roofs that one over to Jobron, who can't get her hands on it to get it high enough up. So great point for Hope to tie it up at 21-21.
Well, give credit to, I think it was Welch in the back who was able to dig that, but it just went a little tight to the net, and that's how Hope was able to tie this up.
Dion sets out Jobron. Good dig from Thompson. Hackett back to Muller. Good dig from Dion. Mellon to Jobron.
Back set.
Hackett tries to tip that one over.
I thought she was going to do back set. There we go.
And Mellon tries to set Janae White, but that'll be a double hit off Mellon to put Hope ahead 22-21 as Rietberg goes back to the line to serve.
She has a good serve. She has 8 kills tonight, but she's also a very good server.
Welch with a great pass up. Adrian continuing to go to Jobron, and Jobron delivers that one deep to the line.
Was right on the line. And Becky nodded her head, so obviously
she knows.
We'd love to argue, but apparently it was on the line. 22 all.
Jobron will go back to serve. Thompson with the pass. Hackett goes to Muller, who goes through the block of Reed and Welch. Exactly what she needed to do on that block.
That was so smart from Sophie. You know, that ball was off the net by about 10 feet, and usually you think you're going to go outside there, and she was able to turn her body and get it to a back set, and the blockers weren't ready for it.
That's Janae White with a great hit to tie it back up at 23-23.
Trading points.
Mellon
Adrian
goes back to
is
Soy.
not going away.
Yeah, they're for sure fighting. Hackett sets this one out to Falposh, who digs it deep. Jobron played back towards the line, but shifted towards the right side of the court, and Feldposh saw that and hit her right where she wasn't.
Well, on the rotation, we lose Haley from the front row. Mallory's a very fine player back there, but we lose that attack option.
Dion sets up Welch. Good dig from Thompson.
Gotta go outside. Oh,
Hackett goes to Van Housen with a beautiful set right where nobody was. Great vision of the court, and she did exactly what she needed to do there. You said it doesn't matter the power, it's the point that counts, and she did it right there.
And I probably not under my breath. You probably heard me say you're going outside because, you know, again, you've got a setter with only 2 options. You've just lost Muller. You got your setter in the front row. And I thought for sure we'd go outside, and she went middle. And I don't think Adrian was ready for it, but Adrian was still able to get 1 blocker there. And I think Courtney made the smart play, because if you start pounding that ball and it comes ricocheting back and you don't have a cover, then all of a sudden you're looking at a 24 all. So that was great. That was, I don't want to say I'm breathing easier, but it would not have been a pleasant experience to be down 2-1 against this very good team. So this is great volleyball. Adrian's playing great, and Hope played great in the sets 2 and 3.
And big props to Hope coming back after Adrian in the middle of that game took the lead and did a great job, and still a true testament to both teams' back rows. I know I've said it multiple times, but the digs that they've had off the great hitters for both Adrian and Hope is just incredible.
This is not a stat I look at very often, but if you look at total digs, Adrian has 62 and Hope has 66, so that's 128 total digs. And like I said, it's not a stat I look at a lot, so I don't know how that normally compares, but I think you're right. There have been a lot of players who have made some really good plays back there, and they've extended the points. So Hope needs to continue to put its foot on the gas. You do not want to get into a situation where you have to rely on a 15-point game in set 5. So this is, obviously Adrian has to win this,
right?
But you really don't want to go 5 in this situation. Especially you've got a crowd. Everyone expects you to win because, of course, you're Hope.
Exactly. And we saw the first couple sets, the team who came out strong, both sides had 5-1 leads. And each team, when they had that lead, took it out and kept a hold of that lead to win. And this last game, we saw a lot of back and forth action. So it'll be interesting to see if Adrian falls back as far as tenacity goes or motivation goes, just because Hope came out with that so strong and got that W for that set, or we'll see if Adrian comes back with even more fire.
Well, that's a good point, Carly. You know, there were not the runs in set 3, as I just am kind of scrolling back through here. I'm not seeing anything much more than a 2-point lead anywhere. I see 20-18, but as we had said a couple times during that set, both teams were trading points. On serve, receive, oftentimes they were setting up the play they wanted, and they'd get the ball right back.
So both teams step back out on the court as we're going into the 4th set. Hope is up 2-1. And we'll look like we'll get Vashon starting to serve for Hope, which is what started us off well in the last set.
We'll start with Sophie Hackett in the back, so she's got 3 hitting options. Feldposh is the outside hitter. It's Paige's turn up front, Paige Baker, and then Haley Muller on the opposite right side. Vashon, as you said, to serve. And then Lexi Thompson.
As you mentioned,
great defensive player. Although in high school she was an outside at 5 foot 5 inches tall.
I had the pleasure, or not so much of a pleasure, playing against Vashon in high school.
Oh, is that right?
And we'll get a net violation. So Vashon will continue to serve. Pass by Jobran. The hit by Reed, but there's a Hope block there. Back row shot to Jobran. Hackett quite can't get there in time to get that ball up. So Mellon will go back to serve for Adrian. as Martinez comes in to hit in the front row for Adrian. Hackett goes out to Felposh. Felposh with a nice roll shot. Dion playing back as Felposh has had some really great deep hits to the line. So great choice by Felposh.
I don't think I've seen her scream more excitedly about any of her harder hits, and then that little roll shot she found right in the middle, that was great. She was very excited. Smart play.
Joust at the net that Van Housen loves to have.
Yeah, she doesn't lose that battle very often.
No. Definitely one of her specialties with the nice wingspan that she has. So Baker will serve this one up. Tries to go for a low, hard serve, but that one goes into the net. Thompson will come back in to play back row for her, and Monet will come back in to play back row for White and to serve. Thompson with a good pass. Felposh hopped that one over.
A little miscommunication.
Dion out to Welch. Good dig by Vachon. Vachon will set that one over. Dion goes for the tip, but Hackett's there. Good block from Welch. Free ball over. Dion goes to Welch. Hackett thought that one was going out of bounds, so she withheld. But the line judge calls that one in.
Smart play by Adrian.
Good play by Welch. Monet will serve this one up. Vachon with the pass. Hackett out to Felposh. Good dig from Jobron. Welch with a deep tip that Hackett tries to go for, even though Thompson called it.
That's the second time. Sophie is very aggressive, and she's a good back row player, but I think she needs to trust that Alexi's going to clean a lot of that up.
Right, and you'd rather have her had the second ball anyways, so. Hackett sends this one out to Felposh. Good dig. Great dig, but there's nobody there.
That's Felposh's 14th kill of the night. She is once again leading the team. Her hitting percentage has dropped a bit into nearly mere mortal range. She was at 393 for that before that kill. Let's see where she is after it gets updated.
And Felposh keeps that ball alive. Dion will set up Martinez. Good dig from Luke. Good dig from Mellon off of Van Housen. Heck goes out to Felposh with a great hit. Adrian got their hands on it, but that ball was hit so hard that rocketed into the stands.
Well, again, it's a chess match. You know, if you're Coach Kwan, you've decided that you're going to camp out on Katie Rietberg. And you know, I don't know Adrian well enough to know who their superior blockers are, but Felposh has certainly found holes in the Adrian defense. 15 kills, 433 hitting percentage. Sophie's figured out she's going to go to Sarah. A good partner blocked by Hackett and Van Housen, but the hit goes right through. Welch will go back to serve again. Well as Hope is playing, they're still down by a point. Good pass up by Luke. Van Housen gets that one off the block. Dion to Martinez. Vachon tries to get a hand out of that one, but that sails out of bounds. It is 7-5. 2-point lead for Adrian. A little bit of a missed pass by Thompson. We'll free ball it over. Dion goes to Jobron. Luke sets to Felposh, but we got a double hit by Luke. And 3-point lead, that's got to be the biggest one of the match, right? It is. Coach Schmidt's going to take a timeout. I think Coach Schmidt likes a lot of those, especially when you have to run after the ball. I think he prefers to bump that as to try to set it if you're not the setter. And I think Mallory probably wanted to try to bump it to the outside. Setting, of course, is sort of what everyone's instinct is there, but like I said, I think officials tend to be unforgiving on a second contact if it's not the setter.
Right.
Or at least held to a very high standard.
Right. And we've seen it from other players besides Hackett having some great sets, but when you do have other players setting as much as Hope has in this couple sets, you're going to have some of those errors.
Well, it was a good timeout, I think. You can't really afford to kind of let a team work out of it like you maybe could do in set one. You've got to really keep a lid on this and make sure the deficit doesn't become unmanageable. Because if you get to the point where you're just trading points with people, and remember, we did a lot of point trading in set three, you can't afford to have a deficit that gets too big if you're either team. Right now, Adrian with a 3-point lead.
Heck gives this one to Felposh. Mellon keeps it alive. Good dig. Free ball from Adrian. Hackett tips this one over. Hackett goes back to Felposh. That one goes off the block. Joe Brown tries to get a hand on it, but that one sails into our scoreboard staff.
Well, Sophie only has 2 hitting options right now because she's in the front row. And Felposh had to take the first contact. And where the ball was, Sophie either needed to send it herself or go back to Sarah, and she did. And Sarah picked up yet another kill. She's at 16, hitting .424.
Which is very impressive.
Well, that out ball by Adrian helps us because now we're down to a 1-point deficit.
Deanne will set back row to Welch. Van Housen will get this ball. Good up from Welch. Free ball from Adrian. Heck goes to Van Housen again. They set Joe Braun. Heck goes to Rietberg, and Rietberg sends that one out. We haven't seen a set to Rietberg in a while.
Yeah, well, right now, Felposh is in the back row. Katie, I think, because of rotations, actually just got into this game for the first time. Vashon was playing her back row, but they're going to keep Felposh in the back, which I think is probably a good idea. She's got the cannon loaded today.
She does. Ooh. And we got a block by Van Housen and Hackett.
I think that should be. I'm thinking that's Hope's point. We had the line judge calling a touch, but I think the ball hit the ground first. And, yep, I think that's the right call. That's going to be Hope's point, so that will make it 9-8 Adrian. I think Coach Kwan saw the line judge call a touch, but I think actually the ball hit the ground before we touched it.
Van Housen goes back to serve. That one goes off tape but in. Pancake from Luke. Rietberg with a great hit off the block to tie it up 9-9.
Katie's 9th kill of the night.
This ball goes up. Good dig from Mellon. Out to Joe Braun. Joe Braun with a great hit. Van Housen tries to get on that one, but beautifully hard hit ball. Dion goes back to serve. Thompson with a good pass, close to the net. And Hackett just gets that one over. The sleepy defense from Adrian was not expecting that one off that play.
Well, Sophie Hackett spent 2 years as the understudy to All-American setter Lauren Hayes' camp, and including watching through much of the national championship season. She really hasn't had a lot of a chance to play until this year. But that was a Hayes Camp-like play. I'm sure she learned that watching Lauren. Setters who can attack from the front row. You don't have to be particularly tall.
Right.
That's the most animated I've ever seen Coach Kwan. He's usually very restrained over there. There must have been something that happened, and I thought it was just a plain attack that was out, on the part of Adrian. He must have seen something I didn't see. Maybe he thought there was a touch. I didn't have a touch. 11-10 Hope.
Dion sets this one back to Joe Braun. Hackett goes to Baker. Back to Joe Braun for Adrian. Good dig from Hackett. Haley Muller will set that one. Dion goes to Reed.
Back row.
Back row from Felposh with a great solo block by Reed. And that was huge.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, though. You want to give Sarah that chance because you were sort of out of system, and that's why you have her back there. But, yeah, it was great timing and great positioning by Adrian to get that block.
Felposh with a good pass. And we'll get a double hit from Hackett to put Adrian up 12-11. Joe Braun serves this one deep. Hackett goes to Muller. Mellon with a great dig. Muller will set Baker. Joe Braun just gets on that one. Back row hit from Mellon, and that one goes out of bounds.
Well, it was very smart by Adrian on that free ball. They went right to Sophie Hackett with it, which meant Haley Muller had to take the second ball. Paige had a nice attack, but Adrian dug it, as they've been doing a lot of today. Good hustle.
Felposh with a good pass. Free ball from Hope. Dion sets Welch as the line judge calls that one inbounds.
Wow, that was quite an angle.
Yeah. Bashan will come back in to play back row for Rietberg.
This set's shaping up to be exactly like set 3. Nobody's getting too big of a lead.
Hackett sets Muller. Ooh, Muller tries to go cross. Beautiful hit, but the line judge gets that one to go out.
That's one of Haley's stronger shots. She's really good at that cut shot, but sometimes it's cut just a little too much.
Hackett goes deep to Felposh. Felposh hits that one into the net. Not like her normal hits from tonight.
She has 16 kills, and I think Coach Schmidt's going to wisely take a timeout. She understands that this is, first of all, how important it is to win this set. You do not want to roll the dice in a 15-point fifth set, and you just can't allow an opponent to get up. In a close game where you're trading points, 3 points is a lot. And so wise move by Coach Schmidt, where she's exhorting her team right now. We've got to bring energy. We've got to. She's a great motivator. Yeah. People love playing for her.
She is, and 3 points being the biggest lead of the set. But we've seen both teams come back from a 3-point deficit very well. I think both back rows have kept up their intensity. It's just whether or not the hitters can find those open spots off that defense.
There's a look of seriousness on the Hope team that you don't often see. Even when Hope is behind, they often will be smiling or dancing or having fun, but I think they recognize the gravity of this matter.
Right.
And they are up against a very, very good team.
Mellon will serve this one up for Adrian. Good pass from Felposh. Will set to Baker. That goes off the block. Dion goes to White. And that is out.
Well, credit the block. White had to go up over the block, and she did, but she was about 4 inches deep. 15-13. You need a couple big serves from Paige Baker here.
Baker will serve this one up. Good pass by Jabron. Martinez tries, but there's a partner block for Hope. This one goes out to Welch for the roll shot in the middle. Heck goes to Muller, who will deep tip that. Beautiful placement by Muller, making the most of that set.
She didn't have a lot to, she couldn't do a whole lot with it. Sophie and she were kind of on the same plane. And like I've said before, they all count the same.
Yeah, great vision of the court to notice that back corner just wide open.
This is a much quieter crowd. I can hear myself talk. Last night I could hear all the crowd, but tonight it's much quieter.
And you mentioning that it was such a pretty day outside. Most people probably outdoors enjoying the weather while we can. Living here in Michigan, got to enjoy it while you can.
That's right. It's going away quickly.
Yeah. And now it's 15-14 in favor of Adrian. Hope's up 2-1. So this is a big set for Adrian. They need to win this game, push it into 5. Both teams making it pretty even, going back and forth.
Hitting percentages are not outstanding, and that's because both teams have played great defense, both in the front and the back. Hope attacking at 159 and Adrian at 122. Hope with 81 digs, Adrian with 76. Leading all hitters is Sarah Feldposh with 16 kills. She's hitting .343, so she's returned to earth a little bit on that. Courtney Van Housen with 11, and there's an ace.
Great ace serve from Baker to tie it up 15-15. And you mentioned Baker's a strong server. Good pass from Jobron. Dion goes out to Welch. Good up from Vashon. Dion sets Martinez. Feldposh keeps the ball alive. We'll get a back row hit from Baker.
Yeah.
And Jobron will go for that ball, and it'll go right out of bounds.
Well, that's the advantage of serving both of your middles as opposed to letting one of the liberos serve, because during that point, when this, if the middle can continue to serve, you get the opportunity for that. You know, Courtney did it once, and that time Paige did it. That was huge. Now, we just had a service error, so we're back to 16 all. But that was a great back row hit by Paige Baker.
And Monet will go back to Adrian to serve as it's tied 16-16. Pass by Vashon. Hackett sets to Muller. The block by Adrian recovers.
That's out. I think Hope thought that was kind of an ugly first contact.
Yeah.
Usually you get a lot of grace on that first contact, but even that one looked pretty fat. But they let it play on, and Hope was able to get the point on the out ball.
Luke serves this one up. Jobron with a good pass. Martinez with a great hit, having some really great hits right there in the middle tonight. 7
kills for Martinez. Jobron is now at 16 kills. She and Feldposh are tied in terms of leading for the day. Jobron hitting 150. Martinez 7 kills, hitting 278. Nice.
Hackett with a nice help off the pass from Thompson. Good kill by Jobron. Luke tries to get that one up, but it's a little low for Hope teammates to get underneath that one.
Well, Mallory got a hand on it. Actually, it was pretty good, but there wasn't a Hope person near enough to get it, because you're right, it was a little flat. Nice roll.
Good roll shot from Feldposh. That's her second good roll shot right in the middle there.
Yep, that's just a smart play. She saw 2 blockers. I think Adrian obviously knows that Feldposh needs to be watched.
Yeah.
And so they sent 2 big blocks, and Sarah was able to roll it over. I think she gets just as excited about those in this set. I think she knows that this is a big set.
And good partner block by Hackett and Van Housen right there off of Jobron hit. That's a big point for Hope as it puts them up 19-18.
This is a great, great match. Very exciting.
And we'll see Fernandez sub in for Monet in the back row. Dion sets up to Jobron. Hackett goes all the way out to Reaper. And Reaper goes cross-court deep to get that ball in bounds to gain the lead 20-18.
Great point by Katie. She has, that's her 10th kill of the night, but she has faced the best of Adrian blocking, so her hitting percentage is only .026. She's gotten lots of opportunities, but she has faced the best of Adrian's defense, and that was a very hard point to execute. She was able to cross it deep, And that was a huge point. If you don't get that, you're tied at 19. Instead, Hope comes in with a 2-point lead. And now Adrian is on the ropes. They need to probably get this ball back right here.
Yeah, I think this next point is going to be a defining one. If Hope can get up 21-18, that's a good lead for Hope to have. But if Adrian can answer and get that lead 20-19, I think could put the game in a completely different direction. So I think this next point is a huge one for both teams. So both teams back on the court. Felposh will continue to serve. Welch passes this one. Mellon helps it out. We'll have a deep set from Fernandez. Hackett goes to Vinhausen. Good help from Luke. Felposh will set that one over. Dion goes to Jobron. Felposh gets that one up. Out to Rietberg. There's a block. Felposh and Rietberg keep it alive for Vinhausen for a deep pass. And great tip for Adrian.
Well, Sarah Felposh made a couple of great plays there, but Adrian had an answer each time. And great reaction. You know, Felposh and Katie Rietberg almost ended up on top of each other over there, but we were still able to get it over. But Adrian still got the point.
And great block from Jobron right there.
Yeah, they went to Courtney on the serve receive, and it was just a bit of an overpass. Katie couldn't get up. Sophie Hackett couldn't get up quite quickly enough. 20 all. Yes.
Vinhausen with a great kill off a beautiful set from Hackett.
4 points away from a very hard-earned victory. Last night we had one of these in set 3, and actually I think Hope ran out of subs. Right now, Becky Schmidt just asked assistant coach Tom Doherty question. There's an ace.
And Vinhausen gets a nice ace right there.
I think Becky was asking Tom how many assistant coach Tom Doherty how many subs we had left. Because eventually you're going to have to leave somebody in. Usually you'll leave a back row, a front row player in to play across the back.
Right.
Take your chances. Although Felposh has been playing across the back row, so that has saved a sub.
Well, let's pass this one up to Dion. Dion to Jobron. Jobron finds perfect placement for that ball for a deep set.
That was smart.
In front of the 10-foot line.
That was
Very
really
smart play, yeah. 22-21 in favor of Hope as Dion goes back to serve. Short serve that Luke gets up. Hackett goes to Rietberg. Good partner block from Wright and Reed. Hackett goes up, another good partner block. Hackett sets Baker. Good dig from Dion. Mellon will set White. Hackett sets Baker. And a great solo block from Reed to tie it up 22-22.
This is a tough rotation for Hope because Sophie's in the front with Paige Baker and Katie Rietberg, so we don't have Haley Muller, which we will get after this next rotation, but we need to get this point.
Good save by Jobron. Hackett goes to Baker. Mellon sets up White. Good dig by Luke. Hackett sets up Rietberg.
Yes.
And good adjustment from Rietberg to get that off the hands of Reed on the block.
It's that great court vision she has, and this is, I think, a much better look for Hope to finish this because now Sophie Hackett's in the back row. She's serving. She's a strong server, and you've got Rietberg and Baker, and now Muller back in. It seems like Muller's been out a long time.
Yeah. Dion sets Reed. Hackett sets Muller, like you said. Good dig from Welch. Dion sets Jobron. Good dig from Thompson. And there's a joust at the net between Reed and Rietberg, and Reed won that one. 23-23, it's win by 2. Jobron goes back to serve.
Crowd trying to inspire and exhort their Dutch. They did not expect to see a match this close, I suspect.
Dion goes to Reed. Great tip right in the middle where nobody was. The defense sat back for the hit. 24-23. Joe Braun.
I don't want to play 5. I don't want to play 5.
Set point. That ball rolls off the tape. Hackett goes to Muller. Off the block. Hackett goes back to Muller. Off the block again. Dion with the pass. Mellon up to Reed. Reed gets that one up. Muller saves it for a free ball. Dion goes to Welch. Good play by Hackett. Set over by Thompson. And great hit by Reed.
Whoa.
For set point, 25-23.
Well, the captains will report to the net, and we will discuss what we will do here in set 5. They'll flip a coin, and one team will pick a side, and the other one will serve. I don't remember if it's, I guess the winner of the coin flip will get to choose. And then the first team to 8, I think they'll switch. But wow, this has been great volleyball, but it has not been what I thought it was going to be. Give credit to Adrian. Hope has not played poorly, actually, other than the first set. They've played quite well, but Adrian has given them everything that they can handle.
And we mentioned this 4th set that we just saw was very much like the 3rd set. In the first 2 sets, each team had a chance to dominate a set, and these last couple have been back and forth. So what do you think are going to be the main keys for Hope and the main keys for Adrian going into this 5th set?
Well, I think Hope was successful when they were able to establish the pins. So when Muller and Feldposch and Rietberg are hitting well, that's when they're at their best. And Feldposch did not score in set 4 the way she scored in sets 2 and 3. So that's part of it. But the other thing about something to 15 is it's not necessarily the best team that's going to win it. I mean, if we went back, it'd be interesting to look at which team was ahead at 15 points. Hope may well have been ahead at 15. So every point is so critical that, we talked about it's really hard to give a team a 3-point lead in a 25-point set.
Yeah.
In a set like, you've seen it, but when you get behind by a couple of points, it's just much more difficult because it's going to end quicker. For Adrian, it seems to have begun and ended with Margot Jo Braun, 19 kills. She's only hitting 162, so Hope has done its best to contain her. Cassie Reed is the second leading hitter for Adrian. Really not much of a preset speech there from Coach Becky Schmidt. I think at this point, I know that when I know, my experience in having my daughter play for her is that when things get difficult and when things get stressful, she will say, trust your training and trust your teammates.
Yeah.
So she didn't give a big strategy speech. She filled out her lineup card. She walked back. She said about, 2 or 3 sentences to them, and they came out. So they know what they need to do. They need to trust their training, and they need to trust their teammates. They look relaxed, but they need. This is much different. I actually, having not really prepared for this because I kind of anticipated it was going to be a Hope Calvin kind of year again.
Yeah.
I had no idea that we were going to see Adrian with a 4-1 lead, a 4-1 league record.
Yeah.
And that we were going to be playing the 5th set. I thought I would be, frankly, I thought I'd be home by now.
Yeah, Adrian's done a phenomenal job of proving us wrong and showing that they have some talent like no other. Their blocks, their hitters, their back row, the entire squad has just been phenomenal tonight.
Well, who won the toss?
It looks like Adrian won the toss. And we'll have Bruck in to serve as we start off this 5th set. This 5th set goes to 15. Vachon passes up to Hackett. Hackett to Van Housen with a nice little tip. Very close to the net.
That was really smart. She could have come with power, but it probably would have come sailing right back to her. 13 kills for Courtney, hitting 290.
And Housen will go back to serve after winning that last point. Pass from Welch. Dion to Reed. Luke will serve, set Felposh. Dion out to LeBron. Reed tries to get that one off. Jobron with pretty decent placement, but Hope's defense there to catch that.
You know, give Mallory Luke credit. She kept that ball alive. Give Felposh credit. You know, she didn't have a whole lot to work with, so she just took her fist and she made sure she put it somewhere.
And even if you can't do exactly what you want with it, you just got to get it up. A great partner block right there from Hope's front row.
Baker and Felposh.
So good. 3-0 lead in Hope's favor.
Coach Kwan won't go long without a timeout. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get one right here. I think you're allowed 2 and even a 15-point set.
This ball is deep. Thompson will sub back in to play back row.
3-1 Hope.
Hackett only having Felposh and Baker for options as hitters. Good pass up by Luke. Hackett out to Felposh with a great deep hit.
That's who you want there. This is Felposh's night. That's her 18th kill. And before that, she was hitting 342, so it'll be higher than that. 4-1 Hope. Now we got 3 hitters in the front with Sophie serving.
Hackett serves.
Yes.
And that's a deep serve right on the line. Perfect spot. 5-1 Hope favor.
Trust your training, trust your teammate. You don't need strategy right now. You just need effort and execution. That's what Hope's doing so far at 5-1.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go, but you'd much rather be where they are than where Adrian is. It's better to be up 5-1 in such a short game. 10 points away.
And Hope coming out real strong. Adrian struggling a little bit. This looks more like the second set for us.
That's good. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Hope hitting 170 for the day. Adrian hitting 126. 95 digs for Hope, 87 for Adrian. Felposh leads Hope hitters with 18 kills, hitting 359. Jobron leading all hitters with 19, hitting 143. Olivia Welch with 9. Cassie Reed with 7. Also Sydney Martinez with 7. For Hope, they've also got 11 from Katie Riedberg and 13 from Courtney Van Housen. Felposh with 4 block assists. Baker also with 3 blocks. Sophie Hackett with 3 blocks, 1 solo, and 2 assists. But Adrian's been blocking well. They actually have more blocks than Hope does, 10 to 7.5.
Hackett serves this one. Low. This one goes out to White, and White hits this one into the net. And last game, White had a lot of really key hits.
Yeah, you know, that was a good ball. I'm kind of surprised she didn't do more with that.
Hackett serves this one. Pass by Jobron. That one goes in the net. Dion tries to keep it alive, but can't.
Credit to Sophie Hackett. That was, you know, that wasn't going to get recorded as an ace, I don't think, but it was that tough serve. 7-1 Hope.
Hackett tries to go deep again for that line, but sails that one out of bounds.
It's 7-2 Hope, and the only 2 points that Adrian has scored are when Van Housen hit it out on her serve and when Sophie Hackett hit it out on her serve. So it's been a Hope set so far.
Hackett goes back to Muller. Muller goes line after trying to do a cut shot. Beautiful deep line shot to the back corner.
That's her 7th kill of the night. She's been kind of quiet, but she's an experienced player. She started her career at nearby Calvin, and I think we're at 8, so we're going to switch.
Yep.
This actually is, I love sports. I love a lot of things about sports. This is a silly rule. We don't need to switch at 8.
I agree.
I can understand when you're playing beach volleyball with sun and wind, but last I checked, it was wood on both sides.
Yes.
Hey, someone on the crew even thought my joke was funny.
And looks like we'll get a timeout.
Oh. Is that Adrian's second timeout? Yep, 8-2.
Yep. So 8-2 in favor of Hope College. Adrian needing to get a lot of those hits down, get Joe Braun involved, get that White and Reed block going, as Hope's hitters have done a really great job adjusting to that in this 5th set.
Yeah, we'll have to see who's in the front, you know, that they can't be up there every time. So right now, Hope, it looks like Adrian has Reed and Dion and is it White?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reed, Dion, and White in the front.
Which has been dangerous. White and Reed with those blocks. Dion, a great setter, as well as having some really key digs tonight.
Reed has 9 blocks, 3 solo and 6 assists.
Mm-hmm. So Felposh serves this one up. Pass by Mellon. Partner block from Hope. Can't get it. Reed with a nice kill.
You don't see that very often, Carly. They sent 3 blockers there, and it still got through. And the problem with the 3 is sending a triple block is you really don't have anyone to cover, and that showed there because then they ended up not being able to get a decent hand on it.
Rietberg does the most of that set. This ball goes out to Welch. And that goes off the hands of Haley Muller.
That was smart. They didn't hit it hard, but they just hit it so that Haley ended up tipping it on the way down.
Mellon goes back to serve for Adrian. Thompson with the pass. Hackett to Muller. Muller, good cross. Joe Braun sets up Welch. Welch will free ball it. Muller has to set up Baker, and there's a little bit of a miscommunication.
That's 3 points in a row for Hope. I'm sorry, for Adrian. 8-5 Hope. They have a 3-point lead, but they've let Adrian back in it.
Hackett goes to Muller. Good dig from Joe Braun. Good solo block from Baker. That was a big block right there.
Well, it was Page who got the block. Muller will go in the books as getting an assist on that, and give her credit because that was able to cut down the number of options that the hitter had. It's better when you have 2 up there.
White will free ball that over. Hackett goes out to Muller. Muller goes deep cross court. Great shot. That line was covered, the middle was covered, and she saw and got the ball right to where she needed it to go.
Well, we said she's been quiet, but she hasn't been quiet the last 3 points. She's gone up for a couple of blocks. She's had a couple of kills. She's now up to 8 total. 10-5 Hope. Nice serve.
Welch free balls that over. Hackett does a quick little shot to Van Housen. Some great power on that one.
That one got Papa Van Housen out of his seat. That was a great play.
So Baker goes back to serve. 11-5. Good pass by Joe Braun. White tips that one over. Hackett with a quick sneaky thing. Mellon gets that one up for a back row attack by Joe Braun. Pass by Baker. Back row attack from Felposh, and that one goes into the net. Monet will come in for White to serve. Rietberg with the pass, Hackett out to Muller, tight to the net. Thompson's there to cover the block. This one goes out to Rietberg, and Rietberg, another back-to-back ball that goes into the net. Not the best set, trying to do the most out of it, but can't quite get it to go.
Well, I'm happy to trade points at this point, but we can't let Adrian get on a run.
Felposh with the pass, Hackett out to Rietberg. Rietberg goes line. Beautiful deep shot.
And she went deep. You know, I think she does that as well as anybody. She doesn't do a lot of straight up, straight down, but she uses the whole court. She's got 12 kills, 12-7 Hope.
Good pass by Jobron. Dean out to Welch.
Yes.
Good block by Van Housen with the help from Hackett. Great job.
Well, Hope has rallied when they've had to. You know, they've had periods when they were flat. But they've answered the call. I really didn't want to play this fifth set because you never know what's going to happen, but they certainly have.
And Luke goes back to serve, playing back row for Muller. Walters, who just subbed in for Adrian, gets a nice pass up. That ball goes to Welch. Rietberg's there to cover. Hackett goes back to Rietberg. Dion gets the cover. Mellon out to Welch, tight to the net. Blocks there for Hope. Joust at the net. Van Housen sets to Rietberg. That ball goes off the block of Martinez and Dion, out of bounds for point Hope. It is set point, game point, 14-7.
How about that set from the middle, Courtney Van Housen?
Yeah.
You don't see many middles who can do that. Got the kill for Katie, her 13th.
Hackett sets this one to Van Housen. Off the block for set point, game point, Hope College.
Well, they did it when they had to, Carly. That was great. That was very exciting. A lot closer than we thought we were going to be. I think we're going to try to get Coach Schmidt over here. Are we doing that this time? We're not going to do it this time. All right, well, we had a post-game interview last night. I guess that'll be the quota for the weekend. So Hope wins 16-25. In the first set they lost. They won the second one 25-11. They won the third one 25-23 and lost the fourth one 25-23, and then were victorious 15-7 in this one. Carly, thank you for letting me ride along with you.
Yeah, folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Hope plays next week. Hope Calvin right here in DeVos Fieldhouse. Good luck to Adrian on the rest of their season. We know they're going to do a great job, and we'll hear big things from them as the rest of the season continues. Thank you for joining us tonight, folks, and have a great rest of your day. See you next time.